Hello, my friends. I am Alexandria Nicole, and you are with me today for Thriving Thursdays. And we have Brendan Boyd with us. I call him the podcast guru, my friends. So I am so happy to have him here. Brendan, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Appreciate your time. Love this virtual stage. I'm excited.
Absolutely,
I'm excited.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
excited to
yeah.
have you
You and
too.
I have been
So
talking about getting together for a while, so I'm excited that we had an opportunity to do something.
absolutely. Yes. So tell us about the pod agency and how that developed, what your motivating factor was, all the things.
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, it's just something that came out of like a necessity for myself. And I always tell entrepreneurs, if you can answer one or three questions, you got a product or service. The questions are: one, what is something that you need in your own business or your own life that if you were able to solve this problem or you had this thing, your life could be better, right?
Right.
Question two is, what is something that people come to you for? They know of you. It's easy for you to do, and everyone always asks you for. If that thing, you can monetize that. And the third thing is, like, if you think about the marketplace, what's missing or what can be improved, what's something that you see, what's something that you hear, and if you can solve that, that's another product. So for me, pod agency was just exposure. I needed more exposure in my business. I needed to be out there more in my personal business, what I had going on and stuff like that. So it's just like, hey, listen, if I could get on more shows, if I could solve it for myself, I know other people this would be something that they would be interested in as well. So that's kind of like how it came about. And once I had the idea, I just put it out there. I just said, hey, listen, who could use this? Three people responded, and I was like, oh, I think I got something here. So that's kind of how it all started.
So with the pod agency, what is your focus on empowering people? What's that information look like for you? So just walk me through like your clientele and what your services entail for that.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's for like speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, and business owners who are looking just to get in front of more people. If you're looking to get in front of more people, if you're looking to let more people know about what you have going on, how you provide a solution, the problems that you solve, if you want to be a household name in your category, generally your competitor is not focused on getting in front of more eyeballs. So if you make that paramount as part of your marketing, then you're going to get in front of more people 100%. And what you're gonna
Absolutely.
know, you'll be more findable, more edifiable, more searchable. You'll be the go-to person in your space.
Yeah, that's one of the lessons that I craft around that visibility piece, right? Is the publicity, and being a published author helps you gain credibility and expertise in your field. And it used to be three P's, but I have now incorporated podcasting because it's so important for not only to be the person that's being interviewed, but also to have a podcast too, right? To be continually adding value to your community and also showcasing the abilities of others, because we are multifaceted, right? Like we help people in our lane, and there's always space for someone else to come and empower us and make us smarter about something and help us fill in the blanks, right? So that I love that aspect of you felt like there was a need and you wanted to answer it, and now you have built a business around it. So what were you in any businesses, or was there any background that you had before Pod Agency was born?
I coach podcasters how to grow, scale, monetize their show. I'm a marketing strategist, and prior to that, I was in real estate. I was in real estate for like 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell everybody. I know you got a really cool story about how you started and you had like a clothing line at some point. Give us a little bit of background on how that, because I feel like everything that we go through is important to the journey and how we end up where we are. So tell people a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
I was in the fashion industry for about close to 10 years. And we sold our clothes in 8 different countries, online, big box retailers, boutiques. We were in video games. We did collaborations with Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Um, you know,
cool.
it it was a pretty good brand. You know what I mean? It kind of ran its course. My business partner and I, we became culturally successful, but we didn't have mentorship. We didn't have business coaching. We didn't have the foundations down. And then him and I, we just couldn't, continue to stay on the same page. So After that business, I got into real estate because I still wanted to help people, and I love the idea of helping buyers buy and helping sellers sell and just building relationships through it all. And then towards the end of my career in real estate, I was just like, I don't really see myself selling these and showing these houses to 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
So I knew there just had to be a way to get paid faster, make more money, and make more impact. Quicker. And being able to enjoy yourself more and enjoy your life, enjoy the people, and just have new and different, consistent experiences. And that's when I got into not real estate. That's when I got into personal development and investing in myself and doing courses and programs and getting in different rooms and learning how to take an idea and package it up into a product and then monetize and market that product and get paid for it. And it's been great. I went and trade that knowledge or expertise or that journey for anything.
A lot of people, especially in our community, they are hesitant when it comes to that investment in personal development, right? So you would say that investing in yourself and taking the time to align with other people and allowing that mentorship to come into play, that helped you, that filled in the gap to accelerate your journey, right?
Yeah, I would invest in myself every single time. I feel like not investing in yourself is not smart. I think you're making an investment either way. It's going to be time or money. So if you want a different result, you got to decide, what resource do I have? Do I have more money or do I have more time?
Yeah.
Time you never get back. Money's not even real. So I would trade the money every single time for something tangible that you can actually build upon or you can utilize to grow with. You can't do that with time. And if you hold the money too long, it's not even going to be worth what it was worth when you had it originally. So I would trade in the hope notes every single time for some information that I could utilize and then, turn into dollars.
I completely agree. There was this mental shift when I heard something that showed me that I was actually valuing money than I was my time, more than I was my time. And somebody put it to me. They said, if I was to give you $1 million right now, would you take it? And I'm like, of course I'd take it. But they say, well, would you take the $1 million if you only had 5 more minutes to live? And I was like, wow. So it's really not about the money and the value that we place on money, because if I can't live to enjoy the money, it means nothing, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, time is more valuable than money. And I think that is the first kind of shift that you have to have in your mentality, to value yourself, to value your time, what you have to offer, and being willing to invest in yourself to expedite your process and to level up. Like, we're all learning, right? There's going to be somebody watching this and they're going to get a shift in their perspective. They're going to learn something from you, because I know that you're going to be dropping some gems. You always do. But yeah, I appreciate you sharing that with me and reminding me of how valuable our time is. And sometimes, we have to exchange that currency in order to gain our time and expedite our process. So tell me, what do you want to share with people? Because I know you're always dropping gems. You're always enlightening people with information. When I was first, I don't even know how I came across you. I came across you on Instagram. Maybe you were being interviewed by somebody. I don't know. But I just kind of started to watch your content and listen to podcasts you've been on. And I learned so much in such a short period of time. And I reached out to you, and here we are, the collaboration zone now, right? So love social media, gotta love it. So what are some takeaways? What can you leave with people if they are interested in getting into podcasting? They want to be guests. They want to come on and share their product, talent, or service. What advice do you have about how you go about that process?
Well, I can give you something in real time, right? I'll give you something in real time. So a client literally just texts me as I'm on Thriving Thursdays, and the client texts me back. So there's a podcast that he wanted to get on, and I told him what the price was. The price was $7,000, and I'm gonna read what he says. He said, "That's too much. I'm looking at $1,000 to $4,000 max." Right. So I haven't responded to him yet because I'm on with you. So it's all in how you look at it. He wants exposure, but he wants exposure that's limited. What is your goal? Is your goal to get in front of as many people as possible? Because if it's 4K, and let's say I get you on 2 podcasts, that'll take up that 4K budget. But those 2 podcasts won't do what this one podcast will do at 7K.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Are you saving money or are you losing money?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you know, like, okay, if I get 100 leads coming in and my conversion rate on those 100 leads might be 20%, right? So now I got 20 leads or whatever the case may be, right? Of those 20, I can close, let's say 2. And let's say my average cart might be, let's say my program, I don't know what his program is, but let's say it's 3,500 or 4,000, or maybe it's 5,000. I don't know what it is, but I just made $10,000. But then I got all of the contacts, I got all of the leads, I got the content that I can redistribute. That particular podcast has a TikTok account of over 1 million. You know what I'm saying? You just have to look at, like, what's the goal? You know what I'm saying? Because if the goal is to save money and get on some smaller podcasts, you can do that. But then you can't then be like, well, I didn't get no leads from that either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I would say to people watching is, like, most businesses fail because of 2 things. 1, you don't have enough leads, so you don't have enough exposure. And then 2, you trap yourself in the business. If you trap yourself in the business, that means you don't have a business. You just made yourself a job. And it makes you feel more empowered because it's your job. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're still employed to yourself, which means you don't have time freedom. And if you want to grow your business, you need to get exposure, and you need to make exposure paramount to your marketing. Like, it needs to be important. Like, every week you should get on a new stage. Even if you're someone that doesn't want to invest right now, in bigger shows, that's fine. At least get on a free show or 2 every single week. If you get on 1 show a week, the 52W strategy, that's 52 podcasts by the end of the year. That's 52 different audiences that get to know who you are. That's 52 different opportunities that will make you more findable, more searchable, more edifiable. Your digital footprint will grow. So I would keep those 2 things in mind. Like, where can I go today? Where can I go this week? Where can I go this month to let people know about who I am, what I do, how I help people, how I make an impact, how I influence. And then think about it. I feel like I know what I'm doing and we're doing well, but am I actually running a business, or am I trapped in a job that I created myself? Because if you're running a business, you would start to delegate certain things and ascend yourself to higher levels. So you're more of a visionary or a CEO or a founder. You're not a tasker, you're not a doer, you're not an implementer. You're more of a thinker, a conceptualizer.
Right.
And if you still want to be pretty active in your business, you can, but I would still delegate tasks that they don't equate to your time value.
Right. That's so good. I think the reason why a lot of people, especially the clients and the people I talk to, where they're kind of at the beginning stages, they don't have their SOPs in order. They don't have their standard operational practices, right? So they don't trust anybody to be able to delegate those tasks to, because they don't have everything mapped out on what their expectations are, right? So then you become overwhelmed because you're like, well, I'm the only one that can do it right. Right? Instead of just sitting down, decompressing, thinking about what the process is, thinking about how you want to map it out, and then outsource that to a team member or somebody that you pay to do that specific job. You know what I mean? But we got to take a break. This is so good. Keep that thought. We got to take a break and run this ad real quick.
As the seasons change, So should your skincare routine. Don't let the fall and winter weather take a toll on your skin. Discover Mary Kay's skincare line. It's not just about looking beautiful, it's about keeping your skin healthy and protected. Reach out to your trusted Mary Kay consultant, Cheryl Carnes, today. And guess what? Cheryl is offering free consultations. Call her now to discover the perfect skincare and beauty routine tailored just for you at 843 481 0610. Transform your skin with Mary Kay and face the colder weather with confidence.
All right. Back at it, back at it. So with your podcast agency and empowering people on how to package themselves essentially, right? And to align themselves with aspects of their business that will help them grow, expand their reach, impact more people. What is your legacy? What do you want? How do you envision that unraveling in the coming years? What do you want your legacy to be as an individual and as the pod agency?
Well, I mean, this is a business that I'm looking to grow so I can sell it. It's not a business that I'm necessarily looking to continue to operate. There's other things I want to do. There's other things I'm interested in. Like government contracting is interested in. I got this podcast tour that I'm launching, the Black Podcasters Tour. There's speaking that I currently do that, but I want to continue to do and get on bigger levels with that. Travel, like I even got a skincare line that I'm working on.
Nice.
It's just things I want to do. So it's really just like my idea of business now is different. It's like every business doesn't need to be developed from scratch. You could be in mergers and acquisitions and start buying businesses that are in the categories that you want to be. Maybe there's somebody that has a business and is moving and grooving. You can come in there, invest some dollars, become a partner.
Right.
Start getting some dividends, you know what I mean? As opposed to like, oh, I got an idea for this business and I'm gonna just start it. You don't have to start it. Cheat code is like find a business already moving and acquire that or become a partner within that. Or maybe there's somebody's passionate already. Maybe they started it, but you can get in there and give them the capital that they need and help grow the business. So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at, just enjoying things more, doing things at a higher level. Like even earlier, like I'm an avid reader, right? So I was on a call earlier. I'm gonna pull it up. A friend of mine was talking to me about like, like consumer laws, sovereignty, how like, even when you have a contract with like a creditor, let's say like AT&T or Sprint or something, like it's like that's not even like, okay, it's that debt that you're paying them or that bill that you're paying them is honestly illegal. So like learning stuff about that, how like if a creditor comes at you and they want to report something bad on your report, how that's illegal. You can get that off. Just like different things on how like the way the government writes certain laws, we can use those laws in our favor. The only difference is it's just we don't know about
them.
That information, right?
Yeah.
So I say that to say I'm on this call. My friend's like deep in the subject, right? So she's going off, like she's giving me all the information. So she mentioned like 2 books, and I grabbed them off top. Like I'm not waiting. You know what I'm saying? Let me look real quick. I can tell you what they are because I want to make sure.
Tell them to me so I can write them down.
Yeah, I want to tell you I want to tell you what they are, and it could be something that maybe your audience, might be interested in grabbing if this is a subject that that they're interested in. Obviously, we're talking about podcasting and it's Dropping Thursdays, but I want to give y'all some heat. So, one is a book that's called "How to Free Yourself from Legal Tyranny." The UCC connection. So learning the UCC codes, all right? How to free yourself from legal tyranny. And the other one is called Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know. So these are books that are the author. Let me tell you the author really quick. Pull it up. So the author is David E. Robinson.
Okay. Of both books?
Yep, of both books. And these are books that's just gonna give you way more clarity, on like government things that are actually in our benefit. So for instance, like you might not be somebody that's into politics. I'm not necessarily. You might not be someone that's like, you just feel like government is like a hierarchy. Like you might even think about the government and get anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like you think about policies and politics and all that stuff, and you just like
no,
some other time, right?
Yeah,
some other time. But those are the things that are very important. Like I never had a father, right? So whenever I become a father or have my family, I know now there's certain things that are important, and I'm gonna just give y'all a list of things that are important because I can see the comments, so I can type. So if you're watching this or listening to this in real time, or you got the opportunity to take some notes, I'm gonna just give you some things that you can consider, and maybe you want to look them up at your own time. So the first thing I would say would be like credit and consumer law, right? You should know credit. First of all, money's not real. It's not connected to nothing. It's a hope note. It doesn't even exist. If the government says it's worth this amount today, tomorrow's gonna be worth something else. So we care about something that's imaginary. They can say tomorrow that this pen is more valuable than $1 because it's not backed by nothing. What's really valuable in our country, a lot of countries don't even necessarily have credit, is credit. So you need to understand credit, you need to understand consumer law, and you need to understand that your credit profile your credit score doesn't matter, it's your profile. So the first thing I would say is take some time and like understand credit and consumer law. Number one. Second thing I would say is insurance, life insurance. And life insurance is so important because life insurance can be used as a tax-free growth shelter for your revenue. The majority of I would say, Americans of color, like people in our country of color, they don't have life insurance. They wait for somebody to pass and they just do a GoFundMe. That's not what's up. It's harder for you to get 50, 60 people to donate to bury your loved one than it would be to pay anywhere from $100 to $500 a month to create a nest egg for retirement, to pay for the house, to pay for you if you get sick, or if somebody passed, that turned into 3x or 4x, what you were contributing, right? Yeah. And there's all different types of insurance, but it can also be used.
My mind, whole life and whole concept. I was like, what? 100%. You guys, if you don't know about whole life, start to look into whole life insurance, okay? So that you can protect your wealth and grow it. But go ahead, Brenda.
Yep. So I would say credit and consumer law, insurance, number 2. Number 3, I would say taxes, the tax code. And what I would say with this, I'm gonna give you a couple other things, but I would say if you're in a relationship or if you have a partner or if you're married, you don't have to feel like you need to go get everything. Make a plan with your partner or your best friend. Have this person go get some information. You go get some more information. Then y'all come together because that's how teams work, right? Mm-hmm. The next thing I would say is a trust. I spelled that wrong, but trust. Because the trust will provide you with protection. And as you're building your wealth, it will shield your wealth from the government. And if you having, kids in multiple generations, it will keep your wealth intact. So you could just look at, the Rockefellers, right? Look at the Rockefellers, how they secured their wealth, versus that other family where Anderson Cooper comes from. I forget. I can't think right now.
I don't know.
They were, I'll tell you right now, Anderson Cooper descendants. Anderson Cooper. Oh, the Vanderbilts.
Oh, okay.
So the Vanderbilts and Rockefellers were two of the most wealthiest families. The Vanderbilts lost all their wealth because they didn't have a structure. Whereas the Rockefellers' wealth is still thriving now because they use trust, they use life insurance, they had a structure. So even when there's new generations of Rockefellers, they're still hella wealthy, right? So that's number 4, right? Number 5, I would say, is always be learning. So what comes along with that would be like mentorship, programs, courses. Like I said earlier, I was on the phone with a friend of mine. She's heavy in this credit and consumer space. I'm not gonna be like, oh, how much is it? Oh, this too much. Oh, nah. I want the information because the information is gonna change the situation, right?
Absolutely.
The next thing I would say is learn the stock game. I haven't learned it yet, but I will learn the stock options trading game. And you don't got to be somebody that's like actively going crazy, but
yeah,
you know, if you know what's going on, you know how to trade, you don't got to work no more. Like I literally took a 3-day trading masterclass a couple months ago. And I thought I had this little box right here, but it's not here right now. But one of the teachers, he told me that he was a retired musician and he was in his 40s, and he realized, you know what? I can't do this in my 60s and 70s. I got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
And he took 3 years and figured out how to trade, and that's how he makes money. He could trade for anywhere. But obviously, all of these companies that we buy from, they're all on the market. So purchase ownership in these companies by buying the stocks, or you can get a bucket of stocks. So bucket up, you know what I'm saying? But just I would learn that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so good. So
yeah,
good.
the next thing I would do is the highest level of value and the way that you can get paid the most money is through speaking and educating. What does that mean? That means you can make more money. You can make more money in a month that you can make in a year. You can make more money in a week than you can make in a month. You can make more money in a day than you can make more money in a week. You make more money in an hour than you can in a day. And that's because you're educating and you're speaking. I could go on a stage, like this is a virtual stage, but in this virtual stage, if there was 1,000 people watching, that's me in front of 1,000 people. I could give a lot of value and give a call to action to help people with whatever we're talking about. They could take me up on that. Let's multiply 10% times 1,000 people. That's 100 people interested. Now let's multiply that 100 by, let's say the product is 1,000. What is that, like 100,000? I gotta make sure my math is math over here. So 1,000 times 100. Yeah, 100,000. And maybe it took me 45 minutes to put it on a presentation. So you want to learn something, like I talked about it. What's something that you know would improve your life that you have been avoiding? Learn that. What is something that people come to you for that is so easy for you, but you never thought about monetizing it because it's so easy for you? And then thirdly, what's the thing that you noticed in the marketplace that needs some improvement or doesn't exist? Answer one of all those questions, you got a product.
That's right.
You just learn the art of educating and teaching people how to do the thing, and then speaking, right? So doing the thing is the lowest level of value. Doing the thing is the lowest level of value. Educating, teaching, speaking the thing is the highest level of value. Right? I mean, I could keep going.
Listen, we didn't slap run all the way out of time. Now we're gonna stop it there because we need to do a part 2. Okay, we need to do a part 2 because that's good, and it's so true because my consulting firm was born out of the fact that people were asking me how we scaled our construction company so quickly. So I was giving people advice and telling them what to do, and then I thought, well, I'm telling a lot of people this. So then I started to pursue speaking engagement so I could get them all in the same space at once. And then I thought, well, I want them to have something they could take with them. So I wrote a book, You see what I'm saying? So it is that teachable, it's the educational piece and how you grow and how you package your things. That's the disconnect for a lot of people. They will have a product, service, or talent and be skilled and be ready to hit the market, but that lack of packaging is the thing that keeps them from excelling. Right?
Yeah,
so good. Okay, we got to get off. So tell them about your product. Tell them about your workshop.
Yeah, so listen, if you guys are looking to launch a podcast, maybe grow, monetize your show, I'm doing a free workshop tonight. All you need to do is text the word profits to 213-444-7219, 213-444-7219. Text the word profits. You get to come to the workshop completely for free. Going to give you a lot of valuable information that you can implement and get a win ASAP. And the last 3 people that literally was in that workshop, one made $4,200 in a week, one made $9,000 in a week. Another one made his first $2,000 from the podcast. So a lot of information there that's applicable, that's actionable, that you can use to make a result. So 100% come to the workshop.
Excited. Come to the workshop, you guys, and follow him. He is always dropping dimes. I'm telling you, dropping gems all the time. It's Brendan Boyd is his name. So we have come to the part of the podcast where we are giving you the prayer disclaimer, because we are a podcast that prays. We close out each podcast with prayer to honor God for our abundance. So Brendan, I want to ask you, I want to give you the opportunity. You want to pray or should I close it out?
You know what? I think you should close it out, because I never had that. I've yet to have that experience. And then when you have me back on, I'll close it out. I want the player covering.
Listen, I thought you were gonna be geared up. You know what?
I want the full driving experience.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Cut the music. We're gonna go ahead and pray. Okay. So I wanted to do the prayer today, the prayer of Jabez, because this is such a beautiful prayer, and I didn't want to freestyle it today. I wanted to read something that's beautiful. So, oh, that you would bless us indeed and enlarge our territory, that our hand would be with us, and that you would keep us from evil, and that we may not ever cause pain. So good. Isn't that good? Amen.
That was good. Yeah, that was like a little teaser prayer too. I was like, you just warming up.
Usually my prayers are long and I'm freestyling, but I was like, something about this is beautiful. And I feel like it was so perfect for having you as a guest, because partnering with you is expanding our territory, and I'm watching you, and your territory is constantly expanding. So I'm so blessed to be with you and share this time with you. And guys, we need to get Brendan on for a part 2. Don't you think so? I think so. We need to hear more about the consumer laws and how to profit from podcasts and all the things. Okay. So my friend, thank you so much for sharing time with me, and everybody that's watching. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. And until next time, let's keep thriving together. Thank you for watching. Bye, Instagram. Bye, everybody.